It is hot out here tonight in Boise, Idaho. It's so hot I can't see my cell phone. Nothing like summertime in Boise, Idaho. So I'm out here at the Liberty Garden, Community Garden, that Joseph Evans, who's running for congressman on the Libertarian ticket in District 1, is kind of heading up with community volunteers. Here's the tomatoes.
Yes, those are all tomatoes.
I'm gonna sneak around so I don't get wet. You can see the tomatoes are growing. There's several varieties in here. I know because I helped plant them. I remember one's called, I think there's Best Way, and I think there's an Abe Lincoln in here. Ooh, doggies. You can see there's lots of great big tomato plants. Like I say, several different varieties. This garden, I don't know when it started, but I think I got involved about a month ago. Just to be able to come someplace safe and plant. Oh. Hey bee. Hey bee. So this is looking at the garden from this direction. There is a ton of vegetation out here. I think that's Trinity Anderson out there. She owns the sew shop on Vista. Joseph's mama. Some poplar trees. And the Child's Garden of Joy 2020 that was donated. And it's from the Camille Beckman family and Chateau de Fleur. So you can see there's like 3 rows of corn. I think this must be lettuce. Maybe 4 rows of corn.
Tell you what, it's much easier to weed at 6 in the morning.
Yeah, no kidding.
This stuff is so dried down.
I would love to be able to identify all these plants. I know what corn is.
I brought a map tonight.
Did you?
So you can go, it doesn't give the particulars like, you know, this is ruby red slippers and this over here.
So there's everything from kale, mustard greens, watermelons, cantaloupes, string beans, other beans. Did I say watermelon? I said watermelon.
Yeah, zucchini, summer
Zucchini,
squash.
summer squash, zucchini, summer
Start wandering
squash.
over that way. We got radishes and beets.
Radishes,
That
beets,
one down there,
More lettuce,
look,
carrots.
It's got a different map.
This is a newer section over here. And this is the Child's Garden. There's plants from Camille Beckman, her Child of Joy Child's Garden of Joy 2020 lettuce.
Yes.
Lettuce.
Well, that's cabbage. The first
Cabbage.
one here is cabbage.
Cabbage.
And we wander back. We got beets.
Beets.
That were part of that package, and then some of the lettuce. We start getting
More
further
lettuce.
up.
Something purple.
Something purple. And I believe this was some of the lemon cukes that were part of the package. So they're right here.
Okay, lemon cukes. And what's that?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, a mystery plant.
Yes, one of our mystery plants.
Good, a mystery plant. And this is?
And this is the squash. These two were part of the squash that were part of the Camille Beckman starter kit. Again, I can't remember which it was
Camille
because
Beckman's
it's been so long.
Big
Yeah.
plants. And
And the corn, of course, was part of that as well.
Corn. Okay. So
So-
basically from the corn, all the way back is the
All the way
Child's
back.
Garden.
Yes.
The Child's Garden of Joy 2020. Dang, it's hot.
Yep. It's a warm day today.
So what are these tall ones that look like a little tree?
Okay, the ones that look like a little tree, those are all bell peppers.
Okay.
And we got, I think, and Mom, what was this other stuff that you got here? The cabbage? So it looks like, let's see, so right up here close we got radishes.
Uh-huh.
The next two rows are beets.
Uh-huh.
The two rows after that are carrots, and we got our little walkway here.
Okay.
Then we got a combination of plants right here in the middle that are, Marcine, what was the other plants you planted here?
Have you seen single white females?
Over in the root garden?
Yeah.
Okay, you got radishes, beets, 2 rows of beets, 2 rows of carrots, and then I think we've got a row of
Yeah, we should
cabbage.
get together and do some
Okay, so those are cabbages. So we got cabbages in the next row. The next row after that's a mix of bell peppers and cabbages. And we got 4 rows of corn. And then we got cucumbers that are going to be growing up through the fence.
Okay, and
so
then
we can grow it up through the fence.
this little walkway right here that has 2 borders of green, whatever
Right.
it is,
So we have cucumbers that are going to be growing up
in that
on
little
those
area.
fence.
Oh,
on
okay.
the fence.
On the fence.
So we're
okay.
actually going to use the fence to keep the cucumbers growing up tall rather than laying out across the ground.
Okay.
So that'll also make it easier to harvest them too.
Cool. Okay, we're in squash land. Pitty patty squash land.
And right here, looks like we finally got some of our pumpkins coming through. Right here, we got, is it going to be butternut squash?
Okay.
We got some pumpkins that haven't grown up here. We got some acorn squash that are part of this mix.
And these come up like late August, is that correct?
They will harvest late August, yes.
Okay.
I mean, we already got them up and showing, and they should start bearing fruit here soon. Looks like something's been eating some of them.
And then that over there is an herb hill?
Yes, that's where all of our herbs are at. Well, not all of our herbs, but we got a lot of herbs over there in that garden as well.
Okay. What's this?
So this is our herb garden,
Okay.
and it's got a lot of different herbs in it, most of which I don't know.
There's fennel.
Right up front, we got
Or
dill.
fernless dill.
Yep.
Fernless dill. Sage,
Yeah, we got sage,
oregano,
dill, oregano, basil, more basil after that basil. There's some savory in here. Red basil, Thai basil, spicy basil.
Thai basil?
Yes.
Oh, that's peppermint, right?
No.
no?
All of our peppermint's actually going to go down in the mint garden.
Okay.
So that's a different plant altogether, but
Rosemary.
yes.
What's this guy?
Don't know.
Okay. So there's
The
lots of
last one's
mystery,
actually a
lots of
rhubarb.
surprises.
Yeah, well, a lot of stuff that went in. I'm not as familiar with all of the plants as some of the other people are. You know, but we're
Coming along.
coming along.
So is this little area over here, is that something that's planted or is that just growth that's been there?
It's just growth that's been there. A lot of it, we're still working on cleaning up some of the spaces around here and expanding it, making more of the land useful. I mean, right now we're getting pretty late into the season. Most of our starts are already in place and growing, and they're going pretty good. It's getting a little late to start adding new things, but we're working on building up an awful lot of what we have going on already. So early year prep, getting it ready for the fall, looking at what we can do to set things up to prepare for next spring. We're doing some other things like compost pile that will be getting set up here shortly, as well as working on a biochar kiln in order to do biochar for charcoal integration into the soil to help enrich the soil for the spring planting next year. That's one of our other projects that we got going on.
So are you just using this as an experiment this first summer, or what are your plans?
Well, it is an experiment this first summer because we are on a huge learning curve. We were fortunate that we were able to fall in on a program where an awful lot of this stuff was already pre-placed, so it wasn't that difficult to build off of what existed before. But again, we are still learning, so this is an experiment, but it's an experiment that's going to produce. You know, we're going to see an awful lot of produce out of this garden here over the summer, and as we move into winter. We already have tomatoes that are showing signs they're growing good. We'll be able to start putting them out soon and harvesting the ripe ones, the red ones. We got plants, the lettuce. We'll be able to start harvesting that by the leaf for salads. You know, we got our herb garden, it's getting in place. So
Are those murder wasps? They look like little helicopters.
No.
Are they murder wasps? Are they here?
No, that's a dragonfly.
Oh, that's a big old fat dragonfly.
Yeah. I don't know, you spend enough time in the garden, you start to recognize the bugs and their flight patterns.
You
know,
recognize their flight patterns?
Well, yeah.
That's
You
pretty
know,
cool.
dragonflies are going to fly different than just about anything else you see out and about here. You know, we're starting to get the grasshoppers and some of the locusts. You know, not a lot, just a few. But yeah, we're seeing all sorts of bugs. You know, one of the things we get when some of the kids from the family come out is they like to take a look at the bugs, collect
Yeah.
the bugs.
Oh, you know what you should do? You should get cigar boxes donated and let the kids come out and euthanize the bugs and put them in bug boxes.
We like our bugs. We like our bugs. Bugs
Okay.
are good.
All right.
Bugs show the garden is doing good.